Hey guys, what is up? My name is Bree and welcome back to my channel, Books with Bree, and today I will be giving you guys a summary of how my 2020 reading rush has gone. I would like to start off by saying I had so much fun during this year's reading rush and I am proud with any sort of progress that I made. And I'm happy with all of the books that I was able to read, and I'm okay with not getting to the ones that I was not able to read. But I would like to start off with the ones that I did not get to at all. So I wanted to read Zenith for the prompt of read a book that matches your birthstone, and since I'm born in February, my birthstone's amethyst. I didn't even take it off of my shelf, along with the prompt of read a book entirely outside of your house. So this entire week it has been so hot outside and I am not able to go outside when it is unbearably hot because I will not be able to breathe. So I did not get to The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Those are the only two books that I did not touch, I think. Yeah, those are the only two books that I did not touch. The next two books I will be talking about are ones that I started but was sadly not able to finish for two different reasons. So the first book that I had started and did not finish was the audiobook for A Tale of Two Cities. I think with the time period that I gave myself and the time restraints to read it, I was not able to fully concentrate on it and try to understand what was going on. And since that is a classic and it's so old and it's written a lot differently than books that I'm used to reading, I needed more time to sit down and absorb what I was reading and listening to, and I was just not able to do that for that book. And I will be finishing it, but I think it's just going to take me a lot longer to finish that book than I anticipated. And then the next one was The Wicked King by Holly Black. I think my issue for this one was it's just been a while since I read The Cruel Prince, and I had just read one of the other books that I actually ended up replacing on my TBR for the reading rush of 2020, and it made me so nostalgic of my childhood that I just had the urge to reread from that other series. So it was really hard to get into this one, but I actually only read to chapter 2 or page 20 in this book. It's not that I didn't like it, and I do plan to finish it. It's just I've been reading so rapidly recently that I kind of just want to slow down and enjoy my books a little more. So I think I'm going to do that with this one and really only take the time to read as much as I want every day and not push myself to read more than that. And now on to my favorite part of this video, the books that I was actually able to read from beginning to end in the first 3 days of this reading rush. I kind of went downhill from there, as you guys saw, but two of these were actually in my reading vlog, so I won't be going over them as much. You can check out the reading vlog that I posted on Wednesday that follows me Monday and Tuesday through the reading rush. So the first book that I was able to finish during this year's reading rush on Monday was The Boy Who Sneaks in My Bedroom Window by Christy Mosley. This book actually started off on Wattpad, and I genuinely love that because I post a lot of my writing on Wattpad, and I always have my profile linked in the description of my videos, just because I want people to read my writing, and I think what I write has enormous potential to help others, or to just help others stay entertained or inspire others on stuff they could write. And I'm absolutely open to reading anyone else's work too. But this book follows the main character, Amber, in, I'm not sure if it's her sophomore or junior year of high school. I really think it's her junior year of high school. But she's 16 and she is struggling with the trauma that has been put on her by her father, who used to abuse her, her brother, and her mother, and then sexually abuse her. I think Christy Mosley does an amazing job showing that, and showing how trauma can impact someone to almost an extreme, because the main character, Amber, has issues with people in general and physical contact with them, other than her brother, her mother, and her older brother's best friend, because they were all around for it and she knows they're not going to hurt her. But since this is also a YA, of course there is going to be some spice in here and some romance. And since the title is The Boy Who Sneaks in My Bedroom Window, the first chapter is when she is 8 years old and her older brother's best friend is 10. She had just hidden in her room for the night to go to bed, and she is laying there crying, and she didn't realize it, but her brother's best friend, since he lives next door, can see through her window and sees her crying. And so he sneaks out and crawls in her window and kind of comforts her, and they both end up falling asleep, and that just becomes habit. So that kind of forms the basis for their relationship, and there is a lot that happens in here, and what I had remembered most does not happen till the end. This was my only reread of the Reading Rush, and I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm not sure whether this actually takes place in America or in Europe, because there is a lot of European slang, but they also refer to money as dollars. Just be aware of that going in. It's still well written most of the time. It's very cliche, but it really warms my heart, and I think it is an awesome read for anyone to get into. Just be warned, there is a lot that could trigger people with history of abuse in this book, so I would just be aware of that going in. And then the second book that I was able to read on Tuesday was My Oxford Year by Julia Wen. I absolutely love this book. I was not sure when I started reading it. I thought I was not going to cry. I thought this was just going to be a lighthearted contemporary. I would laugh. I was laughing a lot during this book, and I really enjoyed that. But then I got towards the middle and I started getting teary-eyed. But it wasn't bad enough for me to go, oh, I'm going to cry at the end. And then at the end, I was sobbing my eyes out. But this follows the main character, Ella Duran, as she is in Oxford for a school year, one school year, and she is working on balancing not only her coursework at Oxford University, because she is there on a Rhodes Scholarship, but she is also balancing working for the next candidate for president in America at the same time, and balancing a kind of relationship with one guy, but it's a no feelings relationship, just a no strings attached kind of relationship, and that quickly changes when she learns one of his secrets. And I enjoyed this book for the whole premise that technically the guy she's having a relationship with is her teacher in a sense, but he's not. He's technically the tutor of the class, and since the teacher got promoted, she's the one grading the papers, he's not. So over there, it is not an illegal kind of relationship, especially because she is 24 and he's in his 20s. So it's not a big age gap either, and I really enjoyed that. And I enjoyed the whole premise of her working on herself and realizing how she actually felt, because she had shut herself down emotionally towards a lot of people for a long time, and this is really her just coming back to that and realizing who she is and finding herself and finding that family is not always blood, it's who you pick and who you let in. And it is such a heartwarming book, and I definitely recommend it. I believe I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. I could be wrong, but I gave this one like 4 out of 5 stars just because like I wasn't extremely attached to the characters, but it was an amazing story written so well. It's just my emotional feelings towards it that put it out of 4. I think if someone else read it and they were so emotionally attached to the characters and they were able to connect more with them, then it could definitely be a 5 out of 5 read. Me, it was just a 4 out of 5. But it is an amazing read and I still recommend it. Then the final book that I was able to read all the way through was actually a book that I had changed on the TBR. Originally, I was supposed to read Simon versus the Homo Sapien Agenda to fill the prompt of read a book based off a movie, or like a book that a movie is based off of that you've seen. Like you've seen the movie but you haven't read the book. And I just was not feeling another contemporary right after my Oxford year. I needed a break. I needed a bit of a change. I needed to mix it up. I needed a little spice. So I decided to read Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, no longer by J.K. Rowling. We do not support that here. It's now by Hagrid. That'd be an awesome point of view for this book, honestly. But anyways, this was, I like to say I've read the books, and I have, but I have not read them since grade school. And I mean grade school, like 4th grade. So I don't consider this a reread because it's been so long. I thoroughly enjoyed this book, and I did not realize how much I missed this universe. This was why I was not able to get into other books right away, because this one kind of just blew me off my feet again. No, it's not the best book in the series. To no extent is it, because Harry Potter is such an unreliable narrator, and he is very, very, like, oblivious, even though he is still new to the whole wizarding world, considering this is only his 2nd year. But I do give it to him for finishing the book off, like at the very end. I give it to him for how he acts with his bravery and everything. I just kind of find it unbelievable that he never actually told Hermione and Ron about the time that he accidentally let a boa constrictor loose on Dudley. Because that would have been a good laugh for them all, and it would have been really funny. But he doesn't, and so then it becomes an issue in this book when they find out he's a parcel mouth. I think that's how you say it. I'm not sure. I am so sorry for that going off. Trying to find a battery that will work for smoke detectors. We haven't yet. I did annotate a good chunk of the book, not like massively, but I highlighted a few things on the pages and just made some notes on stuff like that either didn't make sense or I thought were funny, or was like, it's fitting. Like this quote here on page 59, he was like, I mean, he's written almost the whole book list. And I said, fellow bookworm love, because it was something Hermione said, and I love her. She's an amazing character. I definitely think this is a good read. I believe I gave it like 3.5 or 4 stars, because I really did enjoy the plot and it was well written. And then I had watched the movie right after. Like, I had a Harry Potter movie night with my brother and my grandma, and we sat down and we watched Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. My grandma made me go to bed about an hour into it because I would not shut up about all the stuff that they left out or that they changed. So, the characters were really well developed in here, and they went through a lot of changes, and you see some different sides to different characters. Sorry, I'm tired. But yeah, this is definitely a good read, and it was definitely a very good sequel. I will be working on rereading this entire series this year. I just need to get books 4 through 7. I have them somewhere, but I am trying to get all of these covers. So that, my friends, was all of the books that I was able to read during this year's 2020 reading rush. That was it for today's video, guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know down in the comment section below if you participated, and if you did, how it went for you guys. What books were you able to read, and what did you choose for the prompts? I'm really curious to see, and I hope your guys' reading rush went better than mine. As always, I'll see you guys next time.